Long overdue project done. We should be moving the chicken coop about every week ideally, and then their whole yard every 2 weeks. It's almost been a month. So we need to get this moved so that hopefully this grass can come back. So I just pulled the tractor out, but unfortunately I can't do the whole job by myself because I am too small to put the rocks back up. We fold them down every time we park them into the garage so that it fits the clearance of our garage door. And Matt can do it, thankfully, but I am not strong enough nor tall enough to do it myself, so we'll watch him do it. Let's go move the chicken coop. So I'll show you some areas that are really bad, that have really been worn down, that kind of show you that it's been too long that this yard and the coop has been in place. So the setup we have for the chickens, we have a 55-gallon barrel that we use for their water, which works amazingly. They have enough water for at least 2 weeks if we need them to. And so we usually have that set up in one corner. It's on a paver. And so there's a lot of wear that gets on that grass. It's all mud right there. That is not good. You can also see the areas where we have moved their food around. So their food used to be there. It was there, it was there, it was there, it was over there. Some areas are recovering, but the longer you leave it there, the more wear happens on the grass, and it takes it longer to recover. So we try to move it around every few days so that there's less wear on the grass and it recovers faster. You can see there are also a few spots here where they have dug up the grass to make dirt baths, which are great for the chickens, but again, not so great for the grass. Hey, Belle. Hey, chicken. Hi, chick. There's Goldie. There's Josephine. Here's Tuna. She's the original. She's our oldest hen, and she's crazy. She's a crazy chicken. If anybody ever says that chickens are related to dinosaurs, well, she exudes the reason why. All right, so this is the worst part about keeping a coop in place for too long. There's just no grass in here anymore. And look at them. They have the nicest little dirt bath. Hey, Georgia. Hey, sweet girl. And look at them in there. They're just having the greatest time. So we need to get this moved so that hopefully this grass can come back. Also, as a side note, I have been looking so long for a chicken feeder that can hold up to the rain, and I have spent way too long moving chicken feeders into the coop and way too much money wasting chicken feed because it just gets wet from the rain. So finally I found this feeder from Premier One. It has a rain hat, which has been working so well. Even with really heavy rain, all the feed has stayed dry in there. We have our little helper here. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. You're a good girl. Are you helping us? She's doing a good job kind of staying back from the chickens. She just wants to watch and observe. So I'm just going to finish setting up this fence. That way we can corral the chickens into one corner. Once we get the chickens secure in one corner, I will drop down this front fence so that we can move the chicken coop out. Have a snag. You can tell that the last strand of fencing that I put up was still wrapped by Premier One. This one I wrapped myself, so I didn't do the best of jobs. So I'll have to get it untangled here at the get all these spikes out of here. There we go. Not too bad. Now it's not as heavy, so I can actually hold them instead of half dragging them. I'm going to corral the chickens. I'm going to open up this side of the yard so that they come over here. So I'm actually going to move this fence across to close them off in this area. Get their feeder, come over here, try to entice them. up the rest of the chickens. If I was a smart person, I would have withheld their food so that they would have been really excited for the food to move over into that corner. But I got the majority of them. The majority of them are used to the time when I would give them kitchen scraps, but all those kitchen scraps are going to the pigs now. So still, at least whenever I call them, they come running because they think they're getting food. So the rest of them are the chicks. They don't really understand, but I'll try to grab them. If not, we'll just move the coop and I'll try to get them in their new yard after the fact. As long as they're up top, then they're safe, but I can't move the coop while they're on the ground there. They're going to get crushed or break a leg, so I'll try to just wrangle them from in there and then throw them into the other yard. So I think now we have enough of them corralled into that area that I'm going to drop this front fence. That way we can hook the chains up around the edge of the coop and drag it into the new area. So I'll drop these down. Alright, so our setup for moving this coop, we are going to use this tow strap to go behind the coop and then 2 sets of chains to loop around the bucket of the tractor. Then, since this is on skids, it does a pretty good job of gliding on top of the grass, and then we'll drag it to where it needs to go. So I'll put this around the back. That way it kind of protects the wood. We'll have these right up here so it goes along that strong part of the frame. We have a quick link on each end of the chain. So I'm going to drop this through here. And then wrap it around the bucket. Since this chain is a little bit longer and I'm missing a quick link on that chain, I'm going to try to steal one from this side and use one for both of these here. There we go. Just make it work. nice layer of rain and dirt and chicken poop.
Rest.
And rest. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that this tow strap doesn't move out of place while he backs the tractor up. And I'll just hold it until it stays taut. Alright, Matt. Pretty well. He was able to just loop around and then come into the new yard. So we'll drop the chains and then he'll drive out of the yard and we'll set up the new fence. Time to let these ladies into their new yard. They ran over here right away, and it looks like they're pretty happy. Now they have some new bugs to pick off, new grass to eat. It's nice and clean. They'll be some happy girls. When we got the chicks, I really wanted them to be out on grass, so I made this makeshift little house for them. And then once they were old enough to not need the heat light anymore, I moved their same house out to the chicken yard. That way they could continue getting chick food, and also they would have their own shelter in case they didn't feel comfortable going in the coop yet. I'm going to move their shelter back into the chicken yard, or the new chicken yard, so that they can continue to have that as an option if they want it. About 50 gallons of water. So what is that, 400 pounds?
I don't know.
It's a lot. Let's see if I can dump this. The water spout is on this side here. So I'm gonna try to not drop it on the nipples there. Let's do it.
Like me to do it?
I think I can get it.
Okay.
I did it! Alright, this will be easier to move now. Typically we use the tractor to get a lip underneath the front and then tip the bucket back to carry it. But usually then it's about half full, so it's easier to get it onto that lip of the bucket. It was pretty full, so it would have been really hard to lift it in there. All right, now this is easy. Now we can fill it up. So I'm going to try a new improvement. My kids, who are all under 8, I have 7 and under, they love coming into the chicken yard, but only one of them can tie knots. And so typically the ends of the fence are the gates that you walk through, and you just use these strings to tie them together to close it. But if they can't tie it appropriately, then there's usually a gap and then the chickens can get through. So I had an idea of offsetting it this way. We're going to turn on the Energizer, have the Energizer over here so that the electricity is on. All of the kids know how to turn the electricity off, so if they turn it off, they should be able to just walk around this way, and then they won't have to worry about untying or tying the string, and then hopefully no chickens get out. It's happened a few times where I try something new and then all of a sudden we're up at the house and we say, oh, there's 20 chickens out, and then we have to go run and catch them all. So that might happen, but it's worth a shot to see if that's an easier way for the kids to be able to come in and out. All right, turkeys, let's get you guys inside. Let's get you guys inside. No! No, turkeys! So I think by dumb luck, all of the chicks came in as I was going to get the Energizer. So I just got it hooked up and I saw them on there, so I thought, okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and turn it on. I turned it on. They want to test that fence back there, but then I heard, ah! So I think they're starting to understand that it's electrified. Hopefully we keep them in. The chicks, I'm not so worried about, but the turkeys I am worried about, just thinking that the whole world is their oyster and leaving this yard and then never coming back. So I'm happy to keep them enclosed in here and hopefully train them that they should stay in this yard and not try to escape. All right, I got their feed, I got the hose. Now they can get fresh new water and some more food, and then these chickens will be done. Things that we bought so far for this property recently were these hose attachments where it's just a simple on-off. It's so nice so that you don't have to run all the way back to the spigot to turn it on or off. We can just leave them closed and then turn them on when we need them. So that has really helped, especially when we're 500 feet away from the spigot, so you don't have to walk all the way up the hill and then back again. So this poor bare spot of earth is where the chicken coop was. It's completely ripped up, and it'll take a long time to recover. We have another spot that I'll show you where we left the chickens almost all winter in the same spot, and that's where we really learned our lesson that the chicken coop needs to be moved quite often. So this is the area where the coop was for about 3 months, from about the end of December until March. So they overwintered here, and it has been trying to grow back since March. So that's 6 months of regrowth. So 3 months obviously way too long. We're not gonna do that again. We're gonna move them around a lot more frequently. Well, we're done, and I think we barely made it. These clouds are about to dump an inch of rain on us. We had a little bit of drizzle earlier when we were working, but I'm glad that we could get these ladies moved before the real rain starts hitting.